All right. My name is Lithrania, and I had this somewhat crazy notion that I wanted to start a podcast that would foster open communication between myself and my 14-year-old son. Because I think communication is key. Communication is important, and I think everyone has a voice and should be able to use and express that voice so that they can be heard. And even while I say this, my son looks at me and rolls his eyes because it's almost as if he feels like, yeah, I have a voice, but that don't mean I always want to use it. What I feel like my son fails to understand is that I believe that he has insight into a lot of things. I feel like kids these days, they have been exposed to a lot more things than I was when I was his age. And I feel that they can give us insight on understanding of why they do the things they do and why they choose to do things in a way that we would not normally do. And I feel like they can, again, provide us insight into some things that we may not have been able to see it that way. So I thought that it would be a good idea to have a podcast where he and I could discuss our views on things and just have an open dialogue and discussion. There is just no one particular topic that we will talk about because I am open to discuss a variety of things with him. He can educate me on some things, and I'm sure that in my wisdom I can educate him on some things. This is a safe space, I would like to say, and I feel like we can have a good time here that will be both enlightening to both of us. He's sitting off to the side, quiet as a mouse. Caleb, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Caleb.
Tell us a little more about yourself, Caleb.
You spell my name with a K-H.
As most 14-year-old boys, they're not very talkative with certain adults, especially their parents. And when the spotlight is on them, they, of course, go into the shell of anti-socialism, I guess I would say. Is that even a word? Is that a word, Caleb? Or it's just don't talk to me, but they have such, if you get engaged with a teenager and talk to them, you can really have some good conversations. And Caleb and I have had great conversations, and I want to share that with others, but he seems really disinterested in this whole process. In fact, I asked him to come up with a name for our podcast, and his name, so our title of our podcast is going to be One of Us is Being Forced to Be Here. And you can guess which one is. But I also say that he must love me because he decided to do it. Or either he's trying to earn brownie points to get something. We'll figure that one out later. So Caleb, what's going to be our first topic of discussion?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What's something that's pressing, interesting, that you want to delve deeper into? And I don't know, I'm going to set the rules. I'm going to set the rules right now. When a question is asked, I don't know is not an acceptable answer. Because I don't know limits the engagement. I don't know says I don't want to be bothered. And that may be true, but I'm going to keep bothering and pestering until I get an actual answer. So, the best thing to do, give me an answer when I ask the question. So, we'll stop right here and we'll come back after we have discussed what topics we're going to go into. Not even topics, since we're going to just have random discussions on things. Once we pick out one subject that we want our next broadcast to be about, we'll come back and share those thoughts with you guys. Have a great day.